Caught a cat this morning. Pretty relaxed. Anyway, today I'd like to talk to you about the kaleidoscope and its invention. The kaleidoscope was invented in 1816 by Sir David Brewster, a Scottish physicist in Edinburgh, Scotland. Influence and reaction. Scientific impact. Initially, the kaleidoscope was a scientific tool for studying light and optics, demonstrating the principles of multiple reflections and symmetry. Brewster's work on polarization and light refraction informed its design. Cultural and artistic influence. The kaleidoscope quickly transcended its scientific origins, becoming a popular toy and artistic inspiration. Its ability to create endlessly varied, symmetrical patterns captivated the public, influencing art, design, even fashion. It was celebrated as a philosophical toy, blending science with aesthetic wonder. Why am I bringing up the kaleidoscope? That's a valid question. Well, to me, life seems somewhat kaleidoscopic in that seems to be an endlessly churning and turning series of patterns that I see and perceive. And when I talk to other people, there seems to be, even though what other people are seeing and experiencing could be entirely different or somewhat similar, they're experiencing a kaleidoscopic experience of reality. In other words, it never remains the same in terms of our perception of it. And the kaleidoscope of life seems to be endlessly varied, and it's astonishing what it can bring up in any given moment or on any given day. Now, one of the interesting aspects of a kaleidoscope is that, at least those initial ones and ones that we've probably have played with in our lives, they turn. One can deliberately and consciously turn a kaleidoscope, because as fascinating and as beautiful and as astonishing as any one picture or set of patterns that has appeared can be, after a while, we want to see something new. And this could be true if the next picture that showed up was the most glorious, the most astonishing, the most breathtaking thing that we had ever seen. After a while, it would grow stale, it would grow thin and pale, and there would just be a natural, intuitive sense that we want to see something else, because we have this vacuum or hole inside of us that is always seeking and desiring to see the new, the fresh, the amazing, the wonderful, the glorious, the breathtaking, the surprising, and the unexpected, just to say a few words about it. So to some degree, life is a kaleidoscope. Now, what's interesting is, with reference to our topic this week, is that I think it's possible for some people to get to the point where they don't want to turn their kaleidoscope, or B, they don't remember that it does turn. And so a picture that may have seemed great and wonderful, and its component parts that have been viewed for a very long period of time, while once being astonishing and amazing and tremendously fulfilling, they've grown stale and pale and thin and unsatisfying. And yet there's one thing that everyone is addicted to, not just people in recovery, but everyone on this planet is addicted to, because Earth is a recovery planet, as I've said many times. The one thing that people get addicted to is the picture that they're looking at. And so people don't want to turn it. And so, but there's something inside of us that's much more powerful than our human ego, that wants to lock things in place and insist that everything stays the same. And our larger sense of self, our God self, if you will, because I certainly will turn our kaleidoscope for us. And oftentimes this is the moment of clarity, the rude awakening. We don't like it. But then usually after the panic and shock and adrenaline of having things change right in front of our eyes has worn off to some degree, what we see typically thrills and enthralls us, excites us. So when we talk about this God-sized whole, there's a lot of talk in the spiritual game, especially the New Age spiritual game, about about scarcity, and that people suffer from scarcity consciousness. But in my estimation, no one has scarcity. You can look around the world, you can see all the poverty and all the shortage and all the people suffering. But if there's one thing people can have, it's an abundance of scarcity. They can have an abundance of depression, sorrow, victimhood, sadness, futility, resignation. There's no such thing as scarcity, but there's an abundance of scarcity consciousness. And if we're ever going to fill in our God-sized hole, it may be incumbent upon us to realize it's up to us to turn it. If we don't, that's fine. But a power greater than ourselves will come along and shake things up for us and turn our own kaleidoscope so that we can gloriously and mercifully and oftentimes be healed by finally seeing things in a different way. So I hope that my God-sized hole and that my kaleidoscope is turned by a loving higher power today and enables me to see things in a new way. And I hope I have the courage and the wisdom and the serenity to turn my kaleidoscope if it's necessary, and I have the capacity to do that. That sounds suspiciously like the serenity prayer, doesn't it? Anyway, thanks to Sir Brewster, who made the kaleidoscope, and I hope and pray that you enjoy yours today. See you guys tomorrow as we get to talk about this. So please come. I look forward to seeing you.